Welcome, everybody. It seems I scheduled wrong today. I know I put it down for this. I didn't put it down for 6 o'clock. I don't know how it scheduled the wrong time, but supposedly it did. So who knows? You're all here at least, which is good. That's weird. Yeah. No, it's not supposed to be an hour from now. And I literally set the time manually. I know what time it's for. But alas, it looks like it set it for late. So who knows? And I'm getting messages from Callum. I guarantee you did you mean to be late? Hold on. Being late. I'm on. Anyway, I'm hoping it's actually live. Yes, TikTokers, YouTubers, it's live. Yes. Oops, hang on. Let's just making sure. I'm on, right? Hold on. I'm live. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Let me get TikTok rolling here. Yeah, I totally had the wrong time on there. Oh, well. Anyway. All right. TikTok. All right. No, I'm just crazy. I swear to God, I set the right time. I don't know what happened. Anyway, all right, let me get TikTok rolling here. Oh, he can sing nicely. My TikTok got some guy who's really singing nicely. Go live. There we go. Okie dokie. Hello, guys. Yeah, that was weird. Oh, well, another day, another weirdness. There we go. Boom. And I can see maybe a little more light. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. All right. Anyway, hello all. Hello all. Welcome, Slava. Oh, let me get my notes. Oh, hold on. I've got to plug in my mic for TikTok. I'm out of my mind. Plug in my mic for TikTok, and I didn't pick up my notes that were printed out by the printer. Hang on. All right, I got my microphone ready for you guys on TikTok. Thank you for the gift there already, Ellie. Hang on. Let me pick up my notes. One moment. All right. All right. There we go. Now I'm ready. I got my notes. Very good. All righty. Oh, my God. I know about the TikTok mic. There we go. Thank you. Yep. I had to put it down. Oop, there we go. All right. Who was that? Thank you, Shane, for the gift. All right. Much better now. Oh, is Hanukkah tonight? Hanukkah's tomorrow, I thought. Isn't it? Does Hanukkah start tonight? I thought it started tomorrow. Although I guess in Israel it is. Is it tomorrow? May not be tomorrow yet in Israel. I don't know. Thank you guys for the gifts. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Tell me if it's Hanukkah yet or not. Starts tonight. Oh, I did not know that. Okay. Yes, I did not print the Israeli map yet. I meant to. But I didn't. Anyway, welcome, guys. So it does start today. Okay, my calendar said tomorrow for some reason. What do you do? Anyway, good. I've got my notes. Copacetic. Things are good now. All right. Oh, my God. Pearl Harbor Day. Oh, December 7th. It is December 7th. That's funny. Thanks, Kronos. I'm thinking it's not Pearl Harbor Day. That's December 7th. It is Pearl Harbor Day. Wow. There was a shooting in a synagogue in New York. I didn't hear that. Did that just happen? Hospice donation is still going on. Thank you, Arifa, for the gift. We've raised $1,000. We need more. Thank you, Alex. We're raising money for a children's hospice in Ukraine. And thank you, Sherry. And we've raised $1,000. We need $3,000 to buy gifts and sweets for 200 kids in a children's hospice. So these would be children with terminal illness in Ukraine. So if you guys can help out, we'd appreciate it. You can go to my TikTok profile. There's Vlad's for you guys. We're going to give via my friend Vlad. Thank you, Joe. You can go to my TikTok profile, click the link, and the very top thing that comes up is Vlad's PayPal info. Just go to copy it, go to your PayPal and enter it in. But we're giving the money directly to Vlad, which is how we do most of these things. 100% will go to the hospice. I don't take a dime, and Vlad does not take a dime. So have no fear. Anyway, so welcome, guys. As always, we'll take maybe another half minute or so for folks to arrive. And then we'll get going. I actually was almost late because I was setting up the two auctions over on Discord because I finally yesterday, as you saw when the show started, Vlad in Ukraine sent me a Ukrainian camouflage net for the helmets. Really cool. And a handmade, of course, for Ukrainian military. They got me one. And they got me a ghillie suit, which is basically a sniper's jacket. But the entire jacket, it's a jacket, it ties shut, it's got sleeves, it's got a hood. The entire jacket is camouflage, and it's totally freaking cool. I just put both of them up on our Discord. I may or may not auction anything else out for the week because I'm going to be traveling next week. Thank you, Chris. I'll be here on and off doing the show, but I'm traveling. But I wanted to get them up at least so folks could bid because there's a chance you'll get them in time in America for Christmas, but don't count on it because I will not be able to mail them off until December 19. God, I hope I didn't put 18 on there. Ruh-roh. Why am I quitting Congress? I'm not in Congress. So I'm not. Now I've got to see. Did I put the wrong time on my thing? Hang on. Let me make sure I didn't put the 18. Or maybe I did put the 18. Ruh-roh. Oh, no, December 19. I got the right time. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Anyway, guys, welcome. I will get starting here. I am back. I'm still in Chicago. I'm going to be here for the next month. Thank you, Santa. I come here for Thanksgiving and then stay till New Year's because it's stupid to go back and forth and pay for plane tickets for me and the dog. It's like $500 each. It's just stupid for a round trip tickets. So I just go and I stay here for the time. Anyway, welcome, guys. So this is the Aravosis Report. It's my nightly show I do Monday to Friday. Thank you, Marcy. 6 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. And the way the show works is I go through the latest news. I've been covering Ukraine since the war started for 2 years now, and also covering what's going on with Israel and Gaza. Thank you, Scott, for the last 2 months. I go through the news, try to give you guys sort of a summary of what's going on. Thank you, Buford. And for the second half of the show, take your guys' questions. So that's the way we do it. For anybody who wants to support my work and get a question in right away, you can always ask a super chat question on YouTube because I'm on YouTube at the same time while I'm talking with you guys on TikTok. You pay for those, and as a result, because you're contributing to my work, I will answer those right away. And sorry, my nose is itching as always. And for those of you on TikTok, I also very much appreciate the TikTok gifts. As I've said before, I do this full time. I do it for free. And I am able to do this because quite literally, thank you, Alex, your guys' gifts are my salary. That along with the memberships you do, the monthly contributions on TikTok and YouTube and Discord and Ko-fi, all of that combined helps pay my income. Thank you, Alex and Critter. Basically helps me pay the bills. Yeah, YouTube, I screwed up, Jennifer. That's why YouTube has the wrong time on it. But in any case, so please do keep the gifts coming. Not kidding. The gifts help me pay the bills, and the gifts are why I'm able to keep doing the show. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right, let's get rolling here. I did put the wrong time down, correct, on YouTube and everywhere. So let's do Ukraine first, and then we'll do Israel next. So Ukraine, it's thank you, Critter. It's day 649 of Putin's special 3-day military operation. We are doing the fundraiser for the Children's Hospice in Ukraine. We've raised a little over $1,000. We want to raise $3,000. So we've got 2,000 more to go, guys. I'd appreciate your help. This is for a children's hospice in Ukraine, southwest or southeast of Kyiv. This is a hospice is somewhere people go when they have a terminal illness and they're terminal at this point. Thank you, Allie and Tim and Tom. The children it's not necessarily dying right away, but they've got less than a year basically. They take care of the kids. They've got games, camaraderie, etc. And we are going to be getting Christmas gifts. Thank you, Parda. Christmas gifts for the kids, Christmas sweets for the kids, and also if we get enough money from you guys, thank you, Tim and Tom. They've asked us if we can raise $300 for an exercise bike for the kids. So if we raise enough, we'll be getting that too. And if you can help, we'd appreciate it. So again, 100% of the money will be going to the kids. I will not get a dime. Vlad will not get a dime. We're contributing via my friend Vlad in Ukraine. You can find, as I said, his PayPal address there for you guys. That's how you give to Vlad. And for you guys over here, who's it, Parda and Timid and Mustard. Thanks, Mustard. And for you guys over here, you can find Vlad's PayPal address in my bio on TikTok. Click the Linktree link. First thing that comes up will mention the kids' hospice. And Vlad's PayPal is there. Just copy it and go to your PayPal. Vlad, all the money coming into Vlad right now is for this. So you don't even need to put a note. He knows. Anything going to Vlad right now to that PayPal address, we are going to put for the kids' hospice. I did send him $460 or so today, which was his share of the auction proceeds that I believe we are also putting towards the kids. So that would get us up to $1,500 right there, which is halfway. So we're halfway there. I'm going to keep bothering you all. Thank you, Tom, until we get the $3,000 for the kids. Christmas gifts for terminally ill kids in Ukraine. I can't think of a better cause. So thank you. All right, let's do the news. So Vivek is an idiot. This guy who is running for the Republican presidential nomination He's not ahead, thank God. Thank you, Annette, for giving the contribution to the Children's Hospice. Thank you, Janan. So Vivek Ramaswamy, I think is his last name, or Swamy. I can never pronounce his last name correctly. But he's this guy, thank you, Succeed, running for president as a Republican. And he's a con artist. He's trying to be Donald Trump. He's trying to be Trumpier than Trump, basically. And is, honestly, he's horrific. And I say that not because he's conservative or liberal or anything else. This guy's a con man. He got up there last night, and it was a Republican debate here in the States. Trump refuses to show up, and Vivek's up there, and he's talking about, he's the Indian American guy, so you'd know what he looks like. If you see him, you'll know it's him. He gets up there, although we've got two Indian Americans, interestingly enough, because Nikki Haley's Indian American too, which is actually kind of interesting in a historic way, that we've got sort of two people in the debate that are Indian American. Kind of cool, other than the fact that she's good. And I mean, depending what you like of her politics, but I mean, as a person, she's good and he's a con artist. So he gets up there and first of all, is talking about conspiracy theories. And he endorses a conspiracy theory about September 11th. And then he endorses a conspiracy theory about 2016 election and says the 2016 election in America, presidential, was also stolen, even though Trump won it. It was stolen too by the Democrats. He says the 2020 election was stolen by the Democrats, and the January 6th insurrection, when Trump supporters tried to violently stop Congress from selecting the next president and they would have overthrown our government, that was also a conspiracy of the FBI, that it was an inside job by the FBI trying to trick up Trump or something or other. This guy is he is exactly what Fishon just said on TikTok. He's a swindler. This is scary stuff. And he is quite popular among Republicans. He's not their top pick. I mean, it's Trump. He's not their second pick either, but he's quite popular among Republicans because he speaks very well. Thank you, McCall. But this stuff last night was sickening. He went on a rampage about Ukraine, which is the other reason I'm bringing it up. He went on a rampage about Ukraine and promoted every Russian conspiracy theory about Ukraine. It's not a democracy. It's a democracy. We've spent $200 billion. We've actually spent $100 billion. Not that $100 billion isn't a lot of money, but I got news for you. $200 billion is a hell of a lot more money than $100 billion. He's a liar. Thank you, Eddie. He claimed that, I wrote this down. What did he claim? He claimed that, Zelensky's stolen all the money and he's built all these villas in Ukraine. Zelensky's stolen none of the money. That's never been alleged anywhere other than, crazy land. He's not built a villa. I mean, literally none of this stuff is true. And then he claimed, did you know that they're so not a democracy that they just assassinated an opposition presidential candidate so he wouldn't run against Zelensky? They went and they did go. The Secret Service, we believe, of Ukraine went, not the Secret Service, the intelligence services went, and they killed a traitor who was seeking harbor in Moscow. Keep in mind here, Ukraine's at war with Russia. Russia is trying to literally wipe out Ukraine, okay? Russia is trying to literally commit genocide in Ukraine. Not the kind of genocide the kids like to talk about today where they kind of use it for anybody they don't like. I'm talking the real international definition of genocide that got Putin indicted on war crimes. They're trying to wipe out Ukraine is its entire existence. The Russians don't think Ukraine exists. Thank you, Alex. They think the Ukrainians are really Russians and they want to wipe out all of Ukraine, okay? This guy, the guy, was an opposition politician in parliament, but opposition meaning he wasn't the opposition. He wasn't the loyal opposition. He was the pro-Kremlin opposition. He wanted Russia to invade Ukraine. He wanted Russia to invade and make Ukraine Russia, okay? He then, of course, the invasion happens. He flees the country because he's a freaking traitor. Where does he go? Who was that real quick? Thank you, Adventures. Where does he go? He goes to Moscow. The guy goes to Moscow. So he's hiding out in Moscow for the last 2 years. He's a traitor. And the Ukrainians went and took him out. Thank you, Mustard. And I have no problem. But for Vivek to claim he's an opposition how did he put it? Thank you, Mackenzie. He's an opposition presidential candidate that Zelensky killed because he didn't want him to run against him. I mean, Jesus Christ. The thing is, the dishonesty. The dishonesty scares me, but what scares me even more is the un-Americanness of all of these people. And we'll be talking much more about this between now and Election Day, but it has gotten down. I mean, folks, I cannot tell you, your worst nightmare of how dangerous this all is looking in America with next year's election, if you're from abroad, your worst nightmare, it's 100 times worse than you think. There's an article today in Politico, not Politico, it's what's his name? I think it is Politico. Van de Heij put it out today, who's the head of it. Horrific article about what Trump is planning for when he gets into office and the people Trump is going to put in power in our government. The head of the Justice Department, head of the CIA. I mean, the crazy lunatics. It is as if somebody took, Geert Wilders, Orban, and I can't even think who else, and made them like every job in the cabinet, every job in the every minister. I mean, any case, no, it's horrific what we're hearing. Trump admitted yesterday that he's going to become a dictatorship on his first day. Only his first day. He claims he won't be a dictator after that, but the first day he's going to be a dictator. Thank you, Annie. No, anyway. We're starting to freak out here. I mean, the people who support Trump are happy about it, but the rest of us are kind of starting to freak out here. It's horrific what is being talked about. And I got news for you. Like any country out there, even Israel, to be honest, any country out there, we are in an incredibly dangerous position if a government comes in that is openly pro-Putin, not pro-Russia, pro-Putin, because any of you could be in trouble, even Israel at that point. It's just Jesus Christ. Anyway. All right. I'm going on. Zelensky. So Zelensky announced today he's going to be attending speaking of right-wing nut jobs, he's going to be attending the inauguration of incoming Argentine President Milei. Interesting because Milei, he's a nut job, but he is very anti-Russian and very pro-Zelensky, pro-Ukraine. So Zelensky is going to show up at his inauguration, which honestly is not a bad idea. Is not a bad idea at all. Because, Ukraine is a leading country of the global South, right? They're one of the bigger countries, one of the more important ones. Not Ukraine, I'm sorry, Argentina. And it doesn't hurt Ukraine to be in good with somebody like that. So why not? Smart idea. This was kind of a wild story. So I talked the other day about Russian military basically tricking young men from Nepal into joining the Russian military, basically coercing them by force into joining the Russian military to fight in Ukraine. And today's story is something similar in a way. Listen to this. Russian military officials are allegedly attempting to recruit migrants from the Middle East and Africa to join the Russian military. Now, what they're doing is, these are the migrants that they tried to foist on Finland. You might have noticed in the last couple weeks, Finland has closed all of its border with Russia. They did this because the Russians are pissed at the Finns for joining NATO, so they're trying to punish them. They're letting migrants, they're letting illegal immigrants basically cross the border into Russia, and they can't stay in Russia because they're there illegally, and they've been pushing them to the Finnish border. I mean, it's horrific how they're using these people, pushing them to the Finnish border and trying to get them, and they've been, up until now, about 1,000 of them have already crossed the Finnish border until Finland finally closed the border, because they're trying to stoke problems in those countries, right? They know that immigration, especially from the Middle East to these countries, is there have been so many, basically, that it's causing a flashpoint politically, and they're trying to cause political ruptures in those countries. So the Finns said, no, we're cutting you off. Thank you, Nicola. So the Russians have got all of these people illegally, basically, in Russia, and they told them that we are going to deport you unless you agree to fight in Ukraine. Thank you, Blue. Was it Blue? Blue Ariel. Thank you. We are going to deport you unless you agree to fight in Ukraine. So they're trying to basically get these poor migrants now to fight in Ukraine. But again, it's a sign of how Russia's doing, that they seem to be so desperate to get folks to fight for them. There was an essay today, a report by a professor of the Royal United Services Institute, RUSI, a big British think tank, but well-respected. I'm going to read you a little bit of the report. This must have been this has to be from Sky News that I got it, because it's British focused. But I thought it was interesting because it's dealing with Europe's sort of self-defense as the years go on, and whether America is going to be there for you. And spoiler alert, don't count on America being there for anybody in the world. Don't count for America being there for you. Biden, sure. Although what Biden did in Ukraine, Ukraine could very well lose everything. And it's because Biden didn't want them to win. Biden didn't want them to lose, but he didn't want them to win. Thank you, Jetta. So even the Democrats, but Republicans, forget it. Donald Trump wants to leave NATO, guys. He wants to leave NATO, right? I mean, thank you, Karen. This is actually the scary part, because I think back, actually, the last couple of weeks, a lot of folks in the, false. Okay, you need to go do a little research, because that's not even debatable. Google Donald Trump and NATO and look at what his feelings are about NATO. He's talked about, he didn't do it last time, and he was pissed off he didn't do it last time. Trump wants to leave NATO. The issue is that we were talking about the Baltic states in the last, maybe the last week or two. And I've been saying how with these states being members of NATO, you shouldn't be worried about the Russians attacking. The problem is, under Donald Trump as president, I can't guarantee you the U.S. will come to your defense. It doesn't mean anything that we're members of NATO. No treaty means anything to Donald Trump. No promise, no aspect of American history, and no aspect of American security. Donald Trump exists for money and love, and not love in the love sense. It's not like his wife love. His daughter love, maybe. But Donald Trump wants the adulation of the crowd, and he wants money, and that's it. And he wants to, third, he's an angry narcissist pig, and he wants to basically crush everyone who's ever stood up to him. He will not defend you in Europe or anywhere else. He will not defend you. It's possible he'll defend you if you pay him, but there is unfortunately no guarantee to any country around the world that America will come and help you. And honestly, the same thing for Israel, because Israel, the evangelicals care about you guys. Of course, we've talked about this. The evangelicals care about Israel because they want you to die eventually with the second coming of Christ. They need you around so you die, because that's what brings Jesus. Thank you. Who was this? Who else was here? Somebody muted Big Hawk? Oh, Big Hawk muted somebody else. That's okay. I was going to say Big Hawk is okay. I think it was that Sakura. Thank you, Sakura, for the gift. Anyway, this is just something else that really worries me going forward, because America's word no longer means anything. Thank you, Nauseous. It does in terms of Democrats internationally, doesn't in terms of Republicans. Depending which. MAGA Republicans? No. Nikki Haley? Yes. Chris Christie? Yes. Right? Mike Pompeo? Yes. Their commitments, I would believe. The other ones, Trump, Vivek, forget it. DeSantis? No. He's made clear he wants to be a Trump. DeSantis believes in nothing. It is incredibly dangerous. Anyway, I bring this up because there was this report out. Mike Pence is fine. Fine. I'm not talking politics. Mike Pence is fine in terms of, I think, defending Europe, defending NATO, defending our commitments, and defending America. I think he's fine on that account. I do. I think he's totally fine on that account. You can get into a discussion of whether you like Mike Pence overall, whether you like his politics, right? Whatever, that's a different question. But he is not a traitor to America. Donald Trump is. In any case, let me go on with this report. So the report, thank you, Doggy Dave, the report from the British think tank says that with the exception of Poland, Europe has failed to make the necessary investments in increased industrial production capacity and defense spending, and this comes at a time when China shows a strong interest in supporting Russia. I'm going to read a little more, but the main thrust of this report is, in the coming years, America is overstretched. America is trying to build up more weapons because of Ukraine. I mean, in terms of making up what we gave to Ukraine, America now has problems in the Middle East. America quite likely will go to war with China sometime in the next 10 years, right? And in order to do that, in order to do all of that, what happens? The report says if Putin decides, like America and China go to war over Taiwan, what if Putin decides now is the time to go after Europe? Now is the time to go after the Baltic states, to go after a piece of Poland, some of these other areas. Let's do it. Because what are they going to do, right? They're already stretched. America's overstretched. That's the main thrust of the report, is that actually, I would say the report is being nice, because the report is saying that America would come to Europe's defense, but will just be overstretched because of China and Taiwan and the war there. Right? And that therefore Europe has to build up its defenses. I would go one step further and say, if we have a MAGA president, Europe can kiss its ass goodbye. And that is the scariest thing that's out there. And honestly, this should be, ironically, the Ukraine situation was Europe coming together and America coming together with Europe. It's going to be, again, all you guys have to do is think of last time. When Trump was president last time, he wrote off Europe completely. You saw how he treated Europe, right? Putin was great. Kim, the dictator of North Korea, great. Erdogan, wannabe dictator of Turkey, great, right? Erdogan, wannabe dictator of Hungary, great, right? But when it comes, that idiot in Brazil, but when it comes to our allies, he treated you all like crap. Treated you all like crap. Any case. All right. This is so. There's a story out of the UK today. I don't care as an American, but I mean, it's important enough. I thought I'd mention it. I mean, I care, but it's a big story in the UK today that Russia Security Service, the FSB, which is one of the follow-on services to the KGB, compromised the private conversations of high-profile politicians and civil servants in the UK during a sustained attempt to interfere in UK political processes. This is according to the Foreign Office Minister of the UK. He says that Russian services are behind a sustained effort to interfere in our democratic processes, meaning the British democracy. They have targeted members of this House, the House of Lords. They've been targeting civil servants, journalists, and non-governmental organizations. They've been targeting high-profile individuals and entities with a clear intent, using information they obtained to meddle in British politics. Again, not surprised because we know the Russians are meddling everywhere, but nonetheless, they've got a lot of proof of it now of different ways the Russians were meddling in British politics. Ukrainian Parliament Commissioner for Human Rights came out today and said that the latest number of children kidnapped by Russia is 19,540. He basically noted that even though there are small numbers of children coming back, like recently, I think there were 4 kids or maybe 4 or 5 kids that were brought back by a negotiation that Qatar had. You're talking 19,540 kids, 19,000 that the Russians have kidnapped and basically intend to make Russian citizens. So it's pretty awful. That's it for the Ukraine news. There is not, initially I was going to say there isn't a ton of Russian or Israel news, really, Israel Gaza, but I'm going through it anyway. That's it for the Ukraine news. Let me do the Russian stuff, or I should say the Israeli Gaza, and then we'll move on with your guys' questions, comments, etc. Thank you, Marie. Please do keep the gifts coming on TikTok and YouTube. I need it. I need it. This is how I'm able to keep doing the show, guys. I do this full time, and quite literally, the salary I get is your guys' gifts, among other things. I am not getting paid by people on the outside or anything else. So please do continue to help me. I appreciate it. Okay. Israel and Gaza. Thank you, Magical and Napoleon. Israel and Gaza. U.S. Secretary of State Blinken spoke on Thursday today with the Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs. Thank you, Doggy Dave. He, let me see here, commended the Israeli cabinet for agreeing, thank you, Vicky, to allow more fuel into Gaza, which is good, obviously. Said more has to be done to get humanitarian assistance into Gaza. Thank you, Addie New. And he told the Israeli minister that the Israeli government must do more to protect civilians. Thank you for that. Who is that? Darmer? I forget. I can never pronounce your name, but I saw that. Thank you. Or Scott. Thank you, Scott. What's interesting to me about this is we now have a continuing, thank you, Luzma, that's such a cool name. We now have a continuing effort every day of the U.S. sort of publicly calling out the Israeli government, which I think is interesting. It means we're not happy with how they're doing, but the fact that we're doing it publicly means we're trying to slowly ramp up the pressure, which, is a good thing. Kay, thank you very much for the generous super sticker. Very nice of you. Thank you so much. So anyway, we're still putting on pressure. The U.S. has resumed drones over Gaza. We had stopped that. Oh, Ted, thank you, Ted, for the gift. We had stopped our drone program as part of the ceasefire. Thank you, Martin. And basically, we've been flying drones, among other things, to help find the hostages. Now, my guess is we're probably flying drones to help on intelligence as well, right? For Israel to find Hamas, but we've also been doing it to find the hostages. Netanyahu. Okay, Netanyahu, this was interesting. The Israeli prime minister issued a warning today. Thank you, Dinan. And I found it very interesting. Let me read you his warning, and then I'll tell you why I thought it was interesting, because I think it's indicative of something larger going on with this whole sort of crisis. Netanyahu's warning. Netanyahu visited northern Israel today, where he gave a blunt warning to Hezbollah. Hezbollah is the terrorist group, terrorist group in southern Lebanon that is very strong, financed by Iran, of course, just like Hamas. Netanyahu says, if Hezbollah decides to open an all-out war with Israel. Then with its own hands, it will turn Beirut and southern Lebanon, which are not far from here, into Gaza and what is it, Khan Yunis. Thank you for the eyes there. Who is that, Ted? He told the soldiers. Now, let's put this in context, okay? The Israeli Prime Minister says that if Hezbollah attacks from the north, they're going to do the same thing to Beirut, and he especially says Beirut, which is interesting, right? The capital city, and southern Lebanon, what they're doing to the cities in Gaza. What is interesting to me about this is he's not embarrassed about what's going on in Gaza, okay? And I'm not just saying it for that reason, but he's not embarrassed about what's going on in Gaza. He's proudly saying, you don't like what we're doing in Gaza? Thank you, Ted. We're going to do it in Lebanon too. This message, first of all, is not just, thank you, Darian, is not just to Hezbollah. I think he's sending this message to the world. And he's saying, if you don't like what's going on in Gaza, then you better get off your butts and do whatever you can to stop Hezbollah, or frankly, stop Iran, because they've got the pull there from attacking us. Because if you do, we're going to repeat what we're doing in Gaza, in Lebanon, and you're not going to be able to stop us. I think what it got me thinking of wasn't just that. It got me thinking that, and I want to be careful how I say this because I don't want people to interpret this too flippantly. What is happening in Gaza is on purpose, I think. I'm increasingly thinking, especially knowing Netanyahu. And I mean that in a rather complicated way, not in a simplistic way, because I don't want people to go, oh, that's on purpose. That's not the point. I think Netanyahu is trying to make very clear to everybody out there, all of his neighbors, anybody who might have bear ill will towards Israel, that we are going to destroy you if you come after us, that we are going to destroy yours. Egypt, Jordan, even though those two aren't as much of a risk, right? Syria, certainly, Iran, anybody else, we're going to do what we did. If you didn't like what we did in Gaza, you wait and see what we're going to do if you attack our country. Thank you, Cheryl. One of the things, and I'm saying this, I thought about this before, but I'm getting a stronger feeling now. Thank you, Cheryl, because of this quote from Netanyahu, that it's the old expression, it's not a glitch, it's a feature, meaning the civilian deaths may not be, oh, well, that's what happens in war. It may be we want to send a lesson to everybody around the world that if you screw with Israel, you're going to pay for it. And you need to weigh in and do everything you can to make sure Israel doesn't get screwed with. Because even what's going on in Gaza, I mean, Israel, my suspicion is, part of what's going on with Gaza too, is Israel is also saying, world, you don't like it? Then you get off your asses and you do something about Hamas, right? You do something about the terrorist groups that are in the West Bank and that are in Gaza. If you don't like what we're doing. And now he's saying, world, if you don't like it too, then you better do something about Lebanon too. Anyway, as I said, I think it's a little more nuanced than just going, he doesn't care, he wants to kill them. There is a deep strategy going on here, but he also is an arch-right guy who I don't like. Anyway, I just thought that quote was very interesting. U.S. is considering beefing up protections for commercial ships through the sort of bottom of the Red Sea and then going into the Sea of, is it Aden? What's the name of it? I got to head it down here. Into the Gulf of Aden. So as you guys know, there have been a lot of these, the hijackers and everything else taking over the ships, right? Or trying to take over the ships. Thank you, Flower Lady. And, they're very cool. Thank you for that. And thank you, duck or Swan person. I never know your guys' names. Swan Lady, maybe. The Houthi rebels in Yemen have been firing missiles at Israel, we think, missiles at U.S. ships, drones, etc. They took one ship hijacked, right? They've attacked other ships, and the U.S. is now considering going in and escorting shipping, at least from the southernmost part of the Red Sea, and then you go through this little strait, and then you go Gulf of Aden, I think it said, which is basically right off. If you look at the map of Yemen, it's right off of Yemen there. So we'll see, but that's one of the things we're talking about doing. Hang on here. 1 second here. I think I've only got one. Let me see here. That may be, hang on, I've got just one more story maybe. Yeah, I think I've got one. No, that's it, actually. That's it. Okay, that's it. I got for Israel. That's it. Final thing, and then we'll do questions and talking and everything else. It's good. We're not too behind tonight. I do auctions for Ukraine. We do them over on our Discord community. It's discord.aravosis.com, my last name. Or you can just go to Discord if you're a Discord person and search for Aravosis. You'll find our community. We do cool auctions for Ukraine. Half the money, it's cool stuff from Ukraine. Half the money gets sent to Ukraine. Half the money supports my work because I do this full time, as I said. So that helps keep, it allows me to pay the bills to keep doing this. So far, because I'm traveling next week, and I'm still not sure when I'm going to be doing shows next week. We'll see, because I'm going to be in Arizona. Like Monday, I can't do a show because I'm flying during the day. The rest of the week, we're going to see. I'll sort of let you know each day. So bear with me. It'll be a little weird next week because I'm traveling. But next week, at the very least, thank you, Trilytic, I put 2 auction items up. The 2 auction items I got yesterday from Ukraine. I will show you them again because they're totally cool. They are handmade Ukrainian military camouflage outfits. The one is the camouflage that you put over military helmets. I love this one. It's very cool. And it goes over the military helmet. It's real, handmade in Ukraine. It is made for the Ukrainian military. Vlad got me one. I had asked him because I wanted to auction this. And I asked him for it. And he was like, he said, I could have somebody make it, but it usually takes like 3 days for one person to make this. And I told him, I said, you are not making these for me. No, I said, I'm not going to have you have somebody spend 3 days making this. Well, they did anyway. So they've made, it literally goes over the, the military hard hats, the hard helmets. And it's I can even show you. I mean, it's a woven covet. So this is one of the things we're auctioning. And the other one, I can't even pick up because it's a mess. The other one is the Gili suit, which I will show you guys again. The Gili suit is totally cool. My sister actually said to me yesterday, until I showed her in person, she didn't fully appreciate what it was. This is a jacket, a long jacket made from camouflage. It is typically used by snipers and others, but in this case, Ukrainian snipers use it. And I'm going to show you the picture in a minute. She said she thought it was like a blanket. It's not a blanket. It has sleeves. It has a hood. It ties in front. It's literally a jacket, but you turn into, I'll show you this. This is funny because it's my dog looking at me. This is me wearing the jacket, how it goes down my legs. You turn into one big pile of leaves, basically, wearing this thing. It's the coolest freaking thing. Darren goes, I still have mine. Just to show you. I mean, it's really freaking cool. Shrubbery, exactly. It's Monty Python. Shrubbery, shrubbery. Very cool stuff. And again, it's literally a jacket is what it is. Actually, I forgot I did. Oh, I did do that. I did a live here. I did a live photo so you actually can get a sense of it at least. Hold on. I'm going to try to do my live. There you go. You can get a little bit of a sense when I do my live. So anyway, that's the other thing we're auctioning off. It's creepy. Well, it's meant to be creepy. So that's the other thing I'm auctioning off. I may not do, it's called a Gili suit, correct. I may not do any other auction items this week. We'll see, since I'm traveling. And since I'm coming back a week from Monday, I will not be mailing out the winners until Tuesday, December 19th. So be aware. If you want it for Christmas, even in America, it's questionable. The material is it's some kind of, I would say, plastic. It's some plastic material, maybe. It's clothing material, but I would call it plastic. I don't know what else I say plastic, but meaning a polyester of some kind. Vlad would know. I mean, you can see it's the camouflage, right? But I don't know what Vlad would know the material because they buy particular material. Your puppy, I know. My dog saw it at first and was like, she thought she had a new toy. I could put the suit on Saturday. That I can do. It's just not easy to get on. Like I could try to put it on now. It's not totally easy. I assume it's water repellent. It's got to be. It should be. It's got to be waterproof. It has to be. Otherwise, it would be a disaster. Nylon parachute material, maybe. Yeah. No, it's got to be some kind of polyester. It's got to be. Yeah. and it's got to be waterproof. Thank you, Jonathan, for the gift. There's no way for it not to be. You know, Napoleon, be nice to Callum. Callum is a moderator, and he's also my friend. So be nice. Right? Be nice. Anyway, so there you go. But it probably keeps you warm, I would think. Thank you, Pam. Anyway, so those are the 2 auction items that are up. Go check them out. I started them at a decent price because this thing is worth it. Like, if you know, so I started bidding at $100 because honestly, this thing's worth a couple $100. So there you go. Anyway, all right. Well, I know, but he's a moderator. Be nice to him. We're nice to the moderators, and I trust Callum. So you've been very nice, and I told Callum we like you, but at the same time, don't mess with the moderators. Be nice. Give a little as we say, genuflect a little for the moderators. It's when you get on the knee and kind of, bow. So, group of fighters surrendered. I don't think they did. Somebody else mentioned that. If you mean Ukrainians, I don't believe it. Or do you mean Hamas fighters? Which ones do you mean? I don't know which ones you mean. Anyway, what else, guys? We can talk about some of these issues. What do you want? What do you want? Hamas? I saw the picture of like the Israelis with some guys on the ground, but I wasn't sure what the context was. And it always bothers me when you don't know the context of these things. You know what I mean? California depends. Each state. The question here was, how do states go about appointing replacements for members of Congress? Depends on the state. In some states, the governor picks the replacement. In other states, it's an election. Like, for example, George Santos in New York, the governor sets the election to happen sometime in the next 3 months or so. That's how they do it. Other states, the governor would pick the replacement who runs until the next election, until the term runs out. So I don't know how California works it. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, what else we got? Gili suit. Exactly. The link for the Gili suit. Interesting. I don't thank you, Chazak. The leaves. Actually, the leaves are good for the Gili suit. Sorry, somebody who was this? Wait a second. I was just looking at the question about Israel. Sen says, if Israel and Lebanon go to war and the U.S. joins in, does the U.S. make any new enemies? I don't think it's new enemies. I think it's a matter of, tensions being inflamed. The Arabs will get more mad at us. Personally, I couldn't care less. I think, we have to worry about terrorism, but a lot of the people hate us anyway. And so kind of the Israel stuff too. Guess what? They hate you guys. We know the world hates you. They don't like Jews. And if I were Israeli, or Jewish, I'd be upset about what I'm seeing, but I wouldn't be surprised at what I'm seeing. People don't like you guys. And the same thing with us. A lot of people just don't like us. And the people who don't like us would dislike us even more. So, and I don't really care. I mean, I think strategically, sure. But general, when people say, an entire generation of Arab young people will not like us, they don't like us anyway. I mean, the ones who don't like us anyway. And I got news for you. We've been supporting Israel for like 50 years plus. So, at this point, I kind of feel like get over it, really. So anyway, I'm sure. I don't think there'd be any new people hating us, but the people who don't like us would not like us even more. No news from Vlad, other than, I checked with him about the fundraiser. We're up to $1,000 for the fundraiser for the Ukrainian children's hospice. But failed sanctions. I'm not sure what you mean, Terry. Do you think Americans will see a war? I don't know what that question means. Your view of geopolitics is outdated. Whatever. I don't even know what that means. I know what that means. That means you disagree with me, but okay. Give me an actual disagree with the substance. I'm a big fan of disagreeing on substance. I'm not a big fan of, your views are outdated. To me, that's like the argument you make when you actually don't know what argument to make. Give me an argument. My favorite novel. I don't have a favorite novel. I don't really. I don't have like favorite novels. I do have some favorite TV shows. Favorite songs, there's a lot of them. So like a favorite group, I mean, like it's really difficult, especially books and things. Or favorite movies. I don't have favorite movies either. I've never been good at that kind of favorite food. Yes. Right. Chocolate chip cookies and brownies. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Danon. It's funny because like food. Yeah. I definitely have that. Dune's a good book. I will say that. I never did read Call Me by Your Name. I've never seen the movie either. Stephen King, I read forever ago. Do trolls read books? That would be a good name of a book, though. Do trolls read books? Favorite Star Trek episode? As the true Trekkie, I would say, which Star Trek? And I don't know if I have a favorite episode. The Borg episode, the 2-part Borg episode on Next Generation is pretty damn good. That's a pretty good one. DS9, it would be a Dominion episode. I'd have to think which, but definitely Dominion towards the end, right? Those episodes. But yeah, Next Generation would probably be the 2-part Borg when they make Locutus. Not to get all, we're going to get too wonky here for people who don't. Oh, good. Beth Stone says she started watching The Man in the High Tower. It stays good. It is an excellent show, a creepy show. It's on Amazon. The Man in the High Tower. It is about America. If World War II, if during World War II, the Nazis got the bomb before America did, and they nuked Washington. Now I'm spoiling like 0.01% of the show here, but that's the premise. And the Nazis control the East Coast of America, and the Imperial Japanese control the West Coast of America. And of course, the Nazis end up controlling all of Europe and South America and Africa. It is a creepy, creepy show. Incredibly well done and a creepy show. So, really well. So I thought the ending was a bit quick. It almost felt like they were canceled, and they felt like they had to. Maybe they did. They felt like they had to get everything done fast. But it was very good. I thought the end was. I enjoyed it though, and they wrapped it up, which I thought was good. Anyway, the Man in the High Tower or the Man in the High Castle? I think it's the Man in the High Castle, isn't it? Help me out, folks. I believe I may have said High Tower. I think I say that a lot. I believe it's the Man in the High Castle. Castle, yeah. On Amazon. But it was a hurried ending, but it was still very good. Still very good. Babylon Berlin, I don't know what that is. Georgetown Law, I went there a long time ago. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, which I didn't like. Like I like having a real campus on a main campus, but it's a good school. After 1 year, I got bored. I will say that, but it was a good school, smart kids, which was nice because it's good to be in school with smart. It's nice to be in school with smart people. The Americans, great TV show. We got stuck on. How do we get into TV here? Somebody dragged us into TV. Americans, amazing TV show. Lucifer, I tried and I got boring. Can you speak Klingon, Spock, or Data? I've never spoken Klingon. I don't know what speaking Spock or Data means. I think you missed a word there. Babylon Berlin, I don't even know what that is. Is that a sci-fi show? I don't even know what that is. Graham Norton. You people are funny. How did we get into a discussion? I don't mind a discussion of TV. Breaking Bad, I've never seen. Know of it. Need to watch Still Game. Still Game? Is the show called Still Game? Callum? He's saying it's a Scottish TV show. Hey, Alaska. I've spent a lot of time up there. I used to work for Ted Stevens. Been up there like 10 times. I love Alaska. Big Bang Theory, I never watched. Still Game. Don't know. You have to remind me of that one later. I'll have to check it out. Picard, I've been watching. I've got to sort of resubscribe for a month to catch up on all the Picard and Star Trek Discovery or whatever it's called. I sort of resubscribe for a month and then binge it. I'm going to do it when I go back to DC. Outlander, I liked. It got a little soapy. I was not liking when they were in Jamaica, wherever they were. It got a little bit much for me, but I did enjoy Outlander. But then it's on some channel I don't get. Okay, I'll have to get Picard and Discovery again. Yep. Did I? Palestine. It says Israel Gaza, doesn't it, in the caption? Highlander's a movie, isn't it? Love Firefly. I love Firefly, of course. I'm impressed you like, or you know Firefly. Dark? I don't know Dark. 1885. I don't know what is that. Oh, is that series or 1899? It's called or something. Is that the one you mean? Designated Survivor. I watched for a while, but it kind of got on my nerves after a while. I felt like it was just too whatever, you know. Oop, my mom is yelling at my nephew in the background. Designated Survivor just lost me. It just got too weird. I mean, it was like it just felt fake. There's something it didn't do it. I tried Loki. It bored the hell out of me. By like the third or fourth episode, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I got so bored. I didn't do the recap. I could do a recap tonight. There isn't too much to recap. But yeah, third or fourth episode of Loki, and I got bored to death. It just felt like nothing was happening. I love the guy who plays Loki, but I'm not into sports, but probably the Cubs would be my favorite team if I had to have a team. House of Cards was very good. Not realistic, but very good. At least until Trump became president, we didn't do those kind of things in House of Cards. Now, sure. Game of Thrones, excellent, of course. 24, excellent. I tried the new Game of Thrones or whatever, House of Dragon. I hated. I gave the first season a try. It was painful, and I'm not going to watch any more of it. Kind of sad. They must have changed all the writers or something. It was very bad, I thought. Fargo's old, though. I never watched the TV show. The movie was good. I never saw the TV show. Picard got canceled? Get out of here. Got canceled? No. Mandalorian's good. It's a little something. I don't know. Thank you, Pam, for the gift. It's a little something, but it's still, I like it. It's just a little, okay. Others are saying, no, not canceled, Picard. Yeah, Sasha will have to be in the movies. Better Call Saul, never saw. Yep, no, people are saying it was not canceled. I'm seeing Squid Game was good, but disconcerting, obviously. Oh, okay. He said he would only do 3 seasons. Okay, I see. Okay. Andor I thought was excellent. That was always just 3 seasons. Okay, Andor was excellent. Yep. Mandalorian was okay. I haven't started watching that new one with the woman with the A. People seem to like it, right? Ahsoka, is it bad? Is it bad or no? Yeah. Is it any good or not? Ahsoka. Black Mirror I've watched. Yeah, a lot of people here are giving mixed reviews. A lot of people, I'd heard very good things about it. A lot of people liked it. Black Mirror, I've watched multiple episodes. Yeah. I sort of skipped through it, but there were a number of them I thought were very good. I did see the one that was about the woman who looks like Selma Hayek or you know what I mean? That one was very funny. I thought that was wonderfully done. I hate so-and-so or whatever. I hate Julie or whatever it was on Black Mirror. It was hilarious. Almost funny in a way, and creepy at the same time. But my God, you guys are funny. We're just going to do, okay. Pee-wee Playhouse, fabulous. Twilight Zone. Yeah. Very, very much so. Yeah. I've not given Black Mirror a chance recently. Like I said, I've gone through and watched many episodes, but not like religiously. What went off? You mean Black Mirror went off or what? The Witcher I've enjoyed very much. It'll be interesting to see this upcoming season without him in it. Will be interesting. I thought the blonde woman was okay. The young girl was okay, but I'm not totally convinced, about making her like a lead, but we'll see. I just don't know that I like her. I'm not sure as an actress. I'm just not sure there's enough going on there. You know what I mean? We'll see about her being a lead, but I don't know. Obviously, the dark-haired witch woman was great, although they've watered her down too much almost. Like all of a sudden she became way too nice and meek, which was not good. The strength in her I liked before, but in Witcher, whatever her name is. And, Jasker, whatever his name is, fabulous. Though for some reason they decided to make him ugly in the last 2 seasons, which I found fascinating too. I kind of wondered whether that was a Henry Cavill thing. Like Jasker was a little too hot for competition. Because they literally did. They made him like kind of almost ugly. And Yennefer, that's it. They made him almost ugly in the last 2 seasons, right? It was weird because Yesker was hot in the first season, and then season 2 and 3, you were like, what did you do to him? You know, I mean, it's a little weird for a character who's hot to like go, let's make him not hot. Why would you do that? So Hunters, I don't know. Taylor Swift. I've never watched Taylor Swift. I know of her. I just don't know her. I couldn't tell you any of her songs. I've not seen 20 Days in Mariupol yet. I still need to. Land of the Lost, the original? No. Land of the Lost. I hated that show. I just hated that show. I used to have to watch it if it was the only thing on, the Slee Stack. I just found it silly. But no, Taylor Swift I've never watched. I just don't know her. Julia Child. Is there a new thing about Julia? Really? The Doctor from Voyager. That's funny. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I know. I haven't seen Die Hard in years, though. I've got to watch it again. I know, like, people talk about it being a Christmas movie, and it's always a funny conversation. Lord of the Flies. That's a movie? I forget that's a movie. Lost in Space remake was very good on Netflix. Yes. I thought that was excellent. The Mother, they're all good. The Mother and the Father are great. The guy who plays Will is great. The sisters were good. I watched Lucifer. I got bored after like I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. You know, after 5 or 6 episodes, all of a sudden I was going like, what's going on? You know, it lost me. I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. Maybe I watched 6 or 7 episodes. It just kind of, I can try it again. I thought he was very good. Obviously he's great. But it lost me. Yeah. Frexus says, yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Okay. All right. What comedy TV show? Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to think about it now. In terms of modern stuff, I don't even know. I mean, Buffy to some degree. Thank you, Norway Fox. Buffy was hilarious comedy TV in some ways. Frasier, great comedy TV. I'm trying to think like other shows that I think were funny and brilliant. I don't know. TV show I always watched with mom? I mean, not as a kid, but we would do it as adults. Like now, we were watching The Crown for a while. She kind of fell out. You know, I'm not sure. Thanks, Norway. How I Met Your Mother, I've never seen, although I love Allison Janney, who I think is in it, right? Malcolm in the Middle, never watched. On the Family, you know, I mean, I don't, it's a great show. I never loved it. Downton Abbey, I loved. Downton Abbey, I always loved. But yeah, How I Met Your Mother, I never gave it to him. The old Frasier, I loved. The new one I've heard, but I always loved the old Frasier. I'm not a big fan of him. I mean, personally, but Frasier itself was brilliant. West Wing, brilliant, of course. I'm trying to think of funny shows, though. I'd have to think like, I mean, I loved Friends. Friends is just enjoyable. Very well done. You know, like every episode you put on, you know, you're going to enjoy it, you know? Golden Girls, brilliant. Yes. A Downton Abbey exhibit north of Chicago. How weird and funny. Huh. I've never watched The Office. Gilligan's Island, I loved, of course, as a kid. That's funny. Downton Abbey. I mean, Downton Abbey exhibition would be just hilarious. Oops, I'm getting, what do we have here? Oh, good. Callum sent me a link about Still Game. Good, I can check it out. Yeah, Golden Girls, hilarious. I don't know. Oh my God, you guys are going to be tired with all the TV shows. The original Monsters, I did watch. I didn't love it. It was fine, you know. Borgen was very good. My friend Marion, who you've all met on here occasionally, Borgen, excellent. Netflix, maybe Borgen. It's a Danish show about like the Danish Parliament. Excellent. Very much American politics in some ways. Excellent show. It's a series. Very good. You know, The Good Place. I don't know that. I don't know. Hogans Heroes. I mean, Hogans Heroes was wild. Look at Hogans Heroes was this show, late 60s, early 70s, maybe 1970s. But it was American prisoners in a Nazi prison camp. So American soldiers, well, not just American, French, some others, in a Nazi prison camp. 1 second, Magic. We can do a war question, sure. In a Nazi prison camp. And, you know, the Nazi commandant was kind of a goof. the lead Nazi soldier was also kind of a goof. And in retrospect, when you think about it, you're like, 25 years after the war, 20 years after the war, 25, you say, hey, let's do a comedy. It's a comedy, mind you, a comedy about a Nazi prison camp. I mean, I don't even know if they could do it today. You know what I mean? But it is a wonderful TV series. Yeah, I know nothing. It is a wonderful TV series. Thank you, Jeremy, for the gift. And Magical. So Magical, what was your question? Magical said he had a real question, a serious question. What's your serious question? Oh, I'm yawning again. McHale's Navy. I remember enjoying that as a kid. I don't remember it anymore, but I remember enjoying it. Jojo Rabbit, I don't know. Oops. Hello, dog. Oh, did I kick you? I'm sorry. I think I moved my leg and hit the dog lying in her little cat bed. The Good Wife, I enjoyed very much so. Yeah. Westerns, I'm not a Western guy, but I'm sure they're good. Like if I watched some, I'd probably Flipper. I loved Flipper as a kid. Oh yeah. Rocky Horror, fabulous, but Flipper, I loved Flipper. Yeah. What else? Night Court. I enjoyed Night Court. Yep. Oh, are these more serious? I don't know. Maybe. League of Their Own, I never saw. Okay, I'll do a recap. We haven't done a recap in a while, and Three's Company I hated. I really did hate Three's Company. I just didn't enjoy it. I just didn't. Again, it was too stupid of a TV show. Judge Judy, Moonlighting was very good. Hill Street Blues was great. I just find shows sometimes that are just too stupid. Oh no! Koligranik is in the hospital. Ugh, sorry. So saying everyone send some healing vibes. Sorry about that. Scary. All right. Yeah. I hope you're feeling better. Oh boy, you've missed all that. I'll do the recap before we go. Oh, my eyes are going again. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm going to yawn at you guys. I'm getting hungry. All right. Let me do a quick recap and then so you can always tell what's fun. I get tired and my allergies kick in for some reason. It's the strangest thing. It's like, you all made me cry. No, but my allergies will kick in and all of a sudden it all happens. Get Smart, brilliant, of course. Now I was going to say some of you guys who aren't Anglophones originally may not know any of the shows we're talking about, or did most of these shows go abroad? Oh, Hernia. Yikes. I mean, that Hernia should be simple, of course, but yeah. Oh God. Sorry. Yeah, I've had two of them, but when I was younger and, it was fine, but yeah. Yeah, that's probably, unfortunately, TikTok being evil of not giving you updates, Kojak. I loved Kojak and I loved Kolchak as well, The Night Stalker. Boy, that show scared me. Loved that show. Starsky and Hutch I enjoyed a lot too. Oh, that's funny, Tula Kiva. You do know a lot of them. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, a lot of them, I guess, if they were really popular shows, did make it abroad, Oh, they should have. I mean, they're good shows, Oh, weird. Oh, that's funky. That is sort of a funky little thing, Koligranik. Yeah, it's sort of like, in a way, it's like, who cares? And at the same time, it's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah. I mean, as things go, let's face it, as things go, you could lose worse, if I can be your mother. But still creepy. I know. Dr. Welby, I'd watched some of it as a kid. It was okay. I didn't watch it religiously, but I remember Marcus Welby. I watched some. I was just old enough. Rich Man, Poor Man, very good. I remember that being good. All right, let me do the quick summary of the show of what we talked about today. So Ukraine, day 649 of Putin's 3-day special military operation. I mentioned that we're doing the fundraiser for the Children's Hospice in Ukraine. So if you can help, I appreciate it. You can find the link to donate. We're donating via my friend Vlad in Ukraine. 100% of the money will go to the Children's Hospice. We're going to get them Christmas gifts, among other things. And you can donate via Vlad's PayPal address, which you all can find at aravosis.com. That link at the bottom there. You all can go to aravosis.com, or you can click on the link in my TikTok bio, and the very first thing that comes up will talk about the Children's Hospice, and it will give you Vlad's PayPal info. A little more news. I talked about Vivek, the guy running for Republican presidential primary, said a lot of lies about Ukraine, and endorsed a lot of conspiracy theories. He's very scary. Zelensky is going to attend the inauguration of the incoming Argentine president. Russian military officials are attempting to basically sort of con illegal migrants or whatever in Russia into joining the fight against Ukraine, which is interesting because it suggests, again, they're having manpower problems. Thank you, Dinan. We then had a long talk about European countries needing to ramp up their investment in military production because they really can't trust the U.S., but also, with China and everything else, the U.S. could be overstretched and Russia might take advantage of it. Russia's FSB. Oh, yeah. There's a big story out of the UK today of Russia's intelligence services compromising a lot of British elected officials. Ukrainians report today that the Russians have kidnapped a total of 19,450 Ukrainian kids. They intend to basically turn them into Russians. Then we talked about Ukraine. Secretary of State Blinken spoke to an Israeli minister today, reemphasized that the U.S. Where is this? That the U.S. is glad that Israel is letting more humanitarian assistance get through, but we're still concerned that too many civilians are dying. U.S. has resumed drone flights over Gaza to help look for hostages, but I suspect also provide intelligence on Hamas. Netanyahu gave a warning that he will replicate what he did in Gaza to Lebanon if Hezbollah attacks from Lebanon. We talked about the significance of that. Mary Tyler Moore show, of course, fabulous. The funeral of what's his face, Chuckles the Clown. I still remember that one. The U.S. is considering beefing up protections for commercial ships going through the southern part of the Red Sea and then into the, I keep forgetting, the Gulf of Aden, I think it's called, right near Yemen because of the attacks from the Houthi rebels. And, I had one more area. I had one more. No, that was it. The Houthi rebels were the last one. That's it. That's it for the news. Yeah. Wasn't a ton of news today, although we did talk 40 minutes about it, but it wasn't a ton of news. That girl, I liked that girl too. I did like that girl. And Brady Bunch. I watched Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island when it was new. I remember that. That was all amazing. Aiden? Did Aiden get out? Pronounced Aiden? Is it really? Aiden. Is that true? I always thought it was Aiden. Gulf of Aden. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that. All right. Maybe. I'll give you a maybe. I have to look into it. All right, guys. I'm hungry. I'm going to go join Mom in the kitchen, see what's going on. All right. Thank you. Who was that? Thank you, Super Hooded, for the gift. Do Aiden. Huh. Interesting. Do go check out, like I said, the auctions. We've got the Gili suit and the Buck Rogers I did not like. The Gili suit and the camouflage for the helmet. So do go check those out. And actually, what will I watch tonight? I have been catching up on old episodes of 6 Feet Under. I had watched the first few episodes when it first came out and thought it was okay. I didn't love it. I'm loving it now. So I'm watching it more. And Maude is fabulous, yes. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow night, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. All right? Thanks, guys. See you later. Flash Gordon I did not like. Yeah. I just didn't like the show. All right. See you guys. Have a good night.